Elden Ring is a game with deep combat systems, incredible bosses, and insane customization potential. In fact, you can say the same about any game in the Soulsborne franchise. But beyond that, these are games that are full of mystery. You're dropped into a strange world as a person who doesn't belong and asked to make sense of and conquer it. Yeah, most games kinda do this, but most other games tell you the story directly, filled with exposition of the world's past, its major players, and how it came to be the way that it is. Soulsborne games don't do that, and instead shroud all the lore under a layer of mystery that must be uncovered. As fun as these games are mechanically, I believe that the mystery of the lore of these worlds is part of why these games can be so engrossing. The story is always there as you adventure, but it takes some work to uncover the meat of the world's past and its major players. If you want some proof, look no further than the success of lore videos about these games, and especially VaatiVidya's channel. Vaati is a skilled storyteller for sure, but if the mysteries of these worlds' stories weren't claiming people's curiosity in the first place, would anyone even watch? No offense to Vaati, of course, but I kinda doubt it. But as well as Elden Ring and its predecessors employ the use of mystery to great effect to make the lore of those games feel more rewarding to uncover, that's only one important way that games can choose to use this powerful tool. And in this video, I'm going to gush about two different games that use mystery in different ways. Both of these games are made with such love and such an expertly crafted sense of mystery that they're best played when knowing as little about them as possible. So while I will have to spoil some minor things to talk about them, I'll do my best to make sure that as little as possible is given away. Exploration is something that just about every game implements to give some mystery to their worlds. From Metroidvanias to RPGs, exploration can be found in just about any genre. Typically though, the exploration of those worlds is a means to an end, a requirement to find the way forward. There can be some intrigue hidden around corners or along non-critical paths, but you must explore to find the next power-up, the next party member, or the next area to even explore. But what if exploration was all there is? What if you were dropped into an entire galaxy with almost no guidance, no goal, and no barriers? That's exactly what Outer Wilds does. You're a young space pilot who just got their license, and after a brief tutorial experience on your home planet, you're tasked with exploring this galaxy on your own. Where most games tell you to explore to find the way forward, Outer Wilds asks you to explore to create your next self-given goal. You'll travel around your galaxy to uncover the secrets it hides, and comb through ancient ruins to learn about the technology and life of an ancient race that called this galaxy home before yours did. In Outer Wilds, your path forward is driven by nothing more than your own curiosity. What's on the moon of my own planet? What's up with this planet that keeps falling apart? How do I get inside of this observatory? How do I land on this weird disappearing moon? What first seems like an incredibly vast and daunting and unapproachable game quickly pulls you in with its mystery. But as you read the ancient texts left behind the previous tenants and build your mental map of the game's space and all the information it presents to you, you very quickly begin to chart your own path. Of course, the game doesn't keep you completely blind, as there are plenty of hints that you can find by talking to people, reading the ancient texts, and observing the space around you. You explore and experiment until, finally, something clicks and you realize where you need to go next to put together these little pieces of the puzzle of this game's overarching narrative. It's that carefully crafted sense of mystery that not only draws you in, but makes you feel like you are the one who figured it out, because you are. Outer Wilds gives you all the tools that you need to succeed. All you need to do is pay attention to everything to figure out how, and the sense of accomplishment that comes with testing a hypothesis and having it work out feels incredible. And that growing sense of learning and understanding help you build towards your goals and leave you with an unforgettable experience after it's all finished. What's even more impressive to me is that this game doesn't lock anything behind any arbitrary collectibles or locks or abilities you've got to find before proceeding. In fact, if you know exactly what to do, you can beat the game as soon as you start it. I think that's part of what makes the mystery elements of Outer Wilds hit really hard. The realization that the solution was there the whole time, and all you had to do was learn what it takes, all on your own. I don't know if you've heard, but Zelda games are kind of a big deal. As much as I like to rag on Nintendo, nobody does it quite like they do. Dense worlds filled with places to explore, dungeons to conquer, and goodies to collect. But if there's one downfall of the franchise, at least up until Breath of the Wild, it's that each game grows progressively more and more afraid of hiding anything from the player. To the point where tutorials and pop-up instructions have pretty much become a major part of the formula. In fact, much of the same can be said about most games of the current generation, but for me, some of the most memorable abilities that exist in games are the optional ones that the game never explicitly tells you about, or at least hides and only tells you if you find the hidden hint. Link's Awakening allows you to shoot bomb arrows by using the bow and bomb at the same time. A Link to the Past has many hidden interactions with the magic powder. Super Metroid has the infinite bomb jump and the wall jump. And in the case of Super Metroid, these abilities recontextualize the entire game, and their mastery can make previously required power-ups become optional and change the flow of the game in interesting ways. Tunic is a game that aims to recapture that specific kind of magic, the magic of learning and discovering things on your own without the game explicitly telling you how to do it. I'm going to give one final spoiler warning here because Tunic is absolutely a game that you should play with as little knowledge about it as possible. I'll be talking about the main aspects of its mystery, but if you have any interest in playing it yourself, please put this video on your watch later list and come back once you've played for a couple of hours. I won't spoil anything beyond that. Tunic is a beautiful love letter to the secrets that video games can hide. It's a Zelda-like adventure that drops you into a strange world that you simply don't belong in. In fact, the world is so foreign that most of the game's text is obfuscated by a language that you have no hope of understanding when you start out. But just like many titles did in the early days of gaming, Tunic leans heavily on its game manual. Unlike those games, however, this manual is a core mechanic that exists in the game and must be collected page by page to even see. If you've been playing games for any significant period of time, you're probably at the point where you can intuitively understand the language that most games share. We can navigate menus and equip items and fight simple enemies with ease. But for aspects of a game where there's something unique or different from anything that appears in any of the hundreds of other titles on the market, we still have to rely on some sort of instruction to let us know that a mechanic not only exists, but how to interact with it. That's where the main mystery of Tunic lives. Aside from basic video game fluency, you'll need this in-game manual to tell you how to interact with some of the world's entities and about some of the more unique and hidden mechanics, and even some of the simple ones. For instance, very early on you'll find this page that tells you if you hold the roll button, you can sprint around. It's a simple thing, but it's something that I hadn't tried up to that point and instead opted to roll spam my way forward for speed. This game is filled to the brim with this style of hidden mechanics, and it makes you extremely excited to find a new page of the manual so you can learn something new that the game was hiding in plain sight, often recontextualizing much of what you knew about the game and its world, to the point where you'll find yourself asking, holy crap, was that possible the entire time? It's such a powerful feeling of discovery and accomplishment that I haven't felt since 2016 from The Witness, and kept me glued to the screen as I obsessively combed through the world and the pages of the manual, looking for any clues to secrets and puzzles that I may have missed. What makes Tunic really special to me is how the game doesn't really completely hide anything from you. Every mechanic, every secret, every hidden puzzle is at the very least hinted at with the game's beautifully crafted manual. It's such an immaculate attention to detail and a masterful level of puzzle crafting that AAA games wouldn't even dream of incorporating, and the mechanics hidden behind the mystery made Tunic one of my absolute favorite games to experience over the last couple of years. Both of these games, Outer Wilds and Tunic, are masters of their craft. They've taken one of my favorite aspects of video games and distilled it into two very different but equally strong flavors of mystery that will stick with me for years years, and more importantly, make me extremely excited to see what these studios will deliver next. If you haven't played either of these games, I urge you to consider giving them at least a try, especially if you love exploration. There's nothing quite like them, and experiences that I believe everyone should try at least once. If you've made it to the end of this video, please let me know what your favorite mechanics of mystery are in video games. Not Sherlock Holmes style mysteries, but the unique and powerful kind that I brushed on in this video. Before Tunic, my answer would have been the secret puzzles in The Witness, but now that's definitely changed. I'd love to be introduced to something I hadn't heard of yet, so please share. Big thanks to all my patrons, and thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.